Beneath that, everything is about yin and yang. And yin and yang is only a word that does not do anything. It just gives you an idea. And but what about it? What are we doing about it? Separation. And meaning that we assume things do not have yin and yang. Through the act of separation, you separate into two of them. It becomes one pair. So one pair has two, yin and yang. Then the two would interact. And why would the two interact? Pardon me? Law of nature. Yes, but there is a larger nature and a smaller nature. So there are other planets, but with no life on it. So in this case here, Taiji means yin and yang. Yin and yang in this context means life. Why is it that in other, let's say on Mars, there is no life? We assume. Okay? There has to be yin and yang, meaning day and night. There's got to be some changes. But why is there no life? Because yin and yang would interact, and interaction does not exist unless there is a third element. So yin is a girl. Yang is a boy. So at this day and age, we want to change the way we talk because of political correctness. We just say this means something almost the same but not the same. Man and woman, or sex, opposite of that sex, whatever that sex is. Okay? So we go a little bit more inclusive. We don't specify a man and a woman or a boy and a girl, but two opposite genders, and whatever you call. So traditionally, we say that the girl from the day of birth was trapped inside a courtyard. Go back 1,000 years in China. And the girl only sees her parents, no other men. And eventually, by the time you marry the girl, and then the girl will see the first man the girl sees is her husband. This is very strict. As our society progresses, then everything becomes normal. Like today. So this is difficult. You see the girl is trapped. The girl has to marry the boy. And that is called interaction. That interaction comes with something here. That's the matchmaker. So in science, in chemistry, that's the catalyst. Something that's insignificant, that appears to be unrelated, but because of that, a relationship is established. And very, very likely, by the time the girl and the boy become 190 years old, and with a family of many, many children, and in traditional ways, the family remembers the matchmaker, although they've never met. And the parents met once and paid money, and the match was made. But the most significant thing in the life 1,000 years ago was all your life you remember the matchmaker. So the matchmaker in the village a long time ago was the most important person. It's like the mayor. Why? Because as long as you live, every year you send yourself or somebody to give a gift during Chinese New Year to the matchmaker. So the matchmaker receives things from everybody because that's the source of life, community in the village. And today, it happens exactly the same. The only difference is because everything happens because of the setup. But now we don't know, first of all, we don't know who the matchmaker is. I shouldn't say who. And secondly, that we're not paying back. We're not grateful to that matchmaker or whatever. So the matchmaker in the West, when I went to school, let's say in the 70s, 60s, and when I started learning English, I realized that in England, the matchmaker had a different name. Who knows the name? You've been with me. It's the bar. That's North America. The pub. You went and you met some. Or the matchmaker might be your friend's house. And you go to your friend's place and you meet somebody. But that's always a person or a location that acts as the catalyst, the agent that will cause this to happen. In Taiji, yin-yang has no meaning until you separate. Now you have one entity, another entity, and then you remix the entity through another agent. And now, so this is called one cycle. So one separate into two. Two through an agent become bound again. So with one cycle, you make one progress. So the Chinese analyzed this type of activity. So far you realize that this is a main theme in the Chinese culture. In work, family, and doing things, everything is like that. So this concept, this theme, does not exist in the West. And this is what we need to learn. But everything happens the same way. It's just you never look at it from this point of view. And so our societies grow apart. Because for that, we call the Chinese tradition, this thing is very important. In the West, is when you get married, so, oh, this is a good life, and you do this, and you branch off to other things. So now we are here. The Taiji is that the yin and yang are naturally there as facts. The Taiji part is the human interaction, the human involvement that will create a discipline based on yin and yang. So anyways, we come back here, is that we look at this as a fact, but nothing's happening until you put the catalyst there. And that is what we are learning. So what is that? That was the information given to you yesterday.
Separation.
Pardon me?
Separation.
Separation is today. Yesterday, we actually specifically worked on things. This is the space in between, the joints, the corner. So something very insignificant. That's the theory. Today, we do separation. We talk about separation. There are only two kinds. One is real, one is not real. The real one, yesterday somebody was asking me, the real one is called solid. The not real one, solid means it's substantial, it's real. The not real one is called abstract and empty, no substance. But what does it mean? It means, see this action here? I can do this. Now there are two. You see that now? This is real. The problem is, which part of your body you are willing to give me?